Hello Collective, welcome to my channel. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. I hope that you are all well blessed and highly favored. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you're getting my videos and my lives. If you would like to plant a seed or leave a donation, you could do that on my Cash App or my PayPal. If you need a reading, a healing, any other type of help, you could email me at cardinastephanie213@gmail.com. Make sure you please go like my TikTok, my Facebook, and my Instagram. I do have other groups on Facebook. If that's something that interests you, send me a request. I have groups that I am able to touch the whole world, okay? Worldwide groups. I have women's groups. I have co-ed with women and men's group. I have a music group, and I have a group for home health care, okay? If any of those groups interest you, like I said, please send me a request. Make sure that you always have a pen and paper when you come to this channel. Please do not come to this channel with any negativity, anything bad. Anything that you do here will be returned back to you, okay? This is a channel of positivity and light, okay? So let's get started, all right? So I was watching this movie, okay? And I was getting a lot of downloads, okay? In the beginning of the movie, I wasn't really getting it. I didn't know where it was going because this man, and now my notes are all mixed up here. But, so, anyways, I'm going to give you, like, the notes that I have, okay? And the movie, in the end, it really touched me a lot. And my cheeks are really red and hot. So I know a lot of the things in the movie are real. That some of these things in this movie are about karmic. Some of these things in the movie are about the chosen one's gifts, like myself. Some of this could be about the masculines. Some of this could be like, about other people being attached to like a masculine, a feminines, okay? Regular people that could be married and have friends, people that have known each other since, grade school and grew up, together and became friends and, all type of things like this. And then, couples meeting, like it could be two friends and two girls meeting couples, but the one that actually went with one girl, that girl ends up with the other friend, the opposite friend. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that's what was going on in this movie. Some of you could have went through that. Like, there could have been two friends that some of you have, right? And you could have was like, you were with the one friend, like when you were in grade school, but you ended up with the other friend because you married the other friend. You get me? And that's what was going on in this movie. But yeah, that was one sign in synchronicity. All right. So some people could have like two people that like them. Okay. Maybe two people that know each other that like that same individual. So anyways, like I said, I mixed up my notes here. So I'm going to get started. Okay. And I didn't write down the name of the movie, but that's okay because the notes is what I really need. Okay. So the downloads I was getting was, let me see, is like, there's some karmics out here. It says trying to make accidents look like it's somebody else's fault, but it's really the person that is saying that it's somebody else's fault. It's really the person that's saying it, their fault. It's not the other person that the person is claiming to be. Okay, like I'm saying, say if they said it, somebody was saying it was me, okay? But really that somebody was the one that was guilty of something, okay? So that's one sign I was getting in this movie. So you got somebody lying, trying to make it look like it was somebody else, but it was really the person that was saying that it was somebody else's fault. You got me? So I was getting that sign. Oh my God, something's coming out of my mouth. What the heck is that? Ugh. So anyways, yeah, I got that. So it was the person that was tricky. Okay. So, and then like in the movie I saw like this lady, cause her friend had passed away. These people, they were good friends with each other. So she ended up getting pills, right, from the doctor. So that was a download that I was getting, that a lot of us could be like, using pills to cover up our pain, whether we lost somebody in death like me, or other people that just use pills to deal with their issues. Okay? Like when my son died last year, they tried to give me pills, but I didn't really take them like that real heavy. I barely took them a few days, and I work, I try to have, to work with God, my angels, and the ancestors, but I do take pills too. We're all guilty of, trying to heal our pain with pills or with something, but we have to learn how to deal with it too, because we have to deal with life. Okay? So that was the sign and synchronicity I was getting. What was happening in this movie, I didn't get it in the beginning, you guys, but as it was going on, I was getting it. Okay? Because this man ended up murdering his wife, his son, and then kill himself, but left one kid alive. Why this man did what he did? Because he was in a spiritual battle between the light and the dark, but he could not overcome the dark. The dark overtook him. So it was very sad, because he was in that spiritual battle. I don't know what this is in my fucking mouth. I got like some stuff coming out of my mouth. What the heck? I don't know what it is. That's disgusting. So anyways, yeah, he was in a spiritual battle with the light and the dark, between God and the devil, but the dark took over him. Okay? So that's why, people were trying to look for a reason, and, why would he do this? He was a good person, da 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 da. But the whole time they didn't know that all his life, he was actually fighting with the dark. He heard the voices, he heard, them talking to him, but he usually was able to overcome it, but he wore a mask around everybody else. So that's the other thing I got, that a lot of you be wearing a mask and you're really dark inside, or you're really struggling with things, but because you keep it inside and you're not telling nobody else, some of us are not getting the help that we need, and we're wearing a mask. You hear my birds? They don't even talk. It's like 1, 2, and I don't know what time it is, 1 something, 2 in the morning. These birds, no, they be crazy, you guys. So yeah, that's what I was getting. This person was in a spiritual battle, but the dark overtook him, and this is why he killed his wife, child, and himself. And then I got a download, because I put here, guns always, it only takes one time. Okay? I mean, it only takes one bad decision. So that's what I wrote. Because there was guns involved. I said guns always. It only takes one bad decision for you to, to make a choice. We all have a choice. And sometimes that one choice is a bad decision. You guys, I swear, if you guys probably think I'm weird. I got like this white stuff coming out of my mouth. I'm not even playing around. Oh my God, that's disgusting. What the heck is it? So the download I was getting, like a lot of the problems that are happening in this world for a lot of us have to do with these guns. The guns have to stop already, you guys. It's killing, taking lives. It's not good. I know we have to protect ourselves. I know but these guns are causing a lot of deaths in this world. And we need to realize this. And we need to realize that, using guns, whether we hurt ourselves or others, is not the answer. Okay? So I got that, all right? And then making choices, okay? Because if you make that one bad choice could ruin everything for you, okay? It says, Danny is in heaven, spiritual contract, and it's out of our control. So Danny, even though Danny was the one that killed his wife and his child, Danny still went to heaven, okay? Because it's I put here, it's out of our control, like, because God's love for us is unconditional. That's why Danny still went to heaven, because God knows that we are sinners. Okay? In the movie, I was trying to get it too, like, I don't know, I think that maybe, like, God knows our real heart. Maybe God knows that he was in the spiritual battle and he was fighting, in between the light and the dark, but he could not overcome it. You understand? He wasn't strong enough to overcome it. But God took him home anyways to heaven. I know that God is an unconditional love. He has unconditional love for us. Okay? He's not like you and I that we judge each other or whatever. His love is unconditional. But I believe that, if you're not truly dark or whatever, I don't know if I can't sit here and tell you every single person is going to go to heaven. But I know a lot of people are. And sometimes people make choices, and they can't overcome things. Maybe he couldn't overcome it, but God knew his real heart. Whatever had happened to him or whatever, only him and God know. But God did take him to heaven, and it was hard for his friends to realize, like the one guy said, why would God allow that to even happen? We ask things like this. You know what I'm saying? So that was happening. So it says that we have power, seeing orbs, and being. So there was a woman in the movie, okay, this black woman, and she was actually like myself, a medium, a psychic, a high priestess, a prophetess, a reader, okay? Very gifted. She was able to see like orbs when people would pass over. Like when somebody dies, she could actually see them dying and going up to heaven, okay? To the other realms to pass over. She could also see what happens in crimes. She's very strong, her gifted, this medium, all right? This psychic. So like her gifts were so powerful, like when this man was actually killing his wife and everything was happening, she was able to be right there. It's like she was in their house while he was killing them. That's how strong her gift is. For whatever reason, God connects this medium to people that go through, things like this, so that she can explain things or help the people that are still alive, or explain to people why the thing happened the way it did. But her gift is a lot stronger than mine, because there could be people like this in the world. I mean, she was actually right there when this man was killing his wife and killing his child and telling him, like, it's like she's alive and she's helping him, telling him, no, don't kill your wife, don't do this, it's not the right thing to do, come to the light or whatever. But he didn't want to listen to her, just like there was angels trying to tell him too. So not only was this live medium that's alive trying to help him, but there was other angels too. So her gift, she's able to actually be in a crime while it's happening. She's actually right there in the middle of people when they're going through the spiritual battle between the dark and the light. But see, the dark took over. Danny had a choice in this movie, but he couldn't fight it, so he went with the dark. It's messed up, but either way, it's crazy because God still took him to heaven. So God's love is unconditional, no matter who and what we are. He knows that, that we do sins or whatever. Only God knows why he does what he does. In the movie, everybody was praying to God, all right? So because a lot of these people didn't want to be angry. So I got a lot of downloads, like a lot of us were hurting inside. A lot of us are angry inside. A lot of us were talking to God right now in this world, asking God, why things are the way they are. So please help us to get through things, for us not to be angry. I could relate to a lot for that, because like I said last year, what happened to me and my son, and many other people too that have hurt me in this world. So what I was getting is, like, we need to, to ask God to help us with our anger and to have forgiveness in our hearts. I know a lot of things, it's so hard for us to forgive people, but that's the sign that I was getting today, that God was trying to tell me. Okay? So I also put down here, people paying others money for information about any incidents that happen. So you have people out here that are paying people, like, to find out what happened with certain things. Bad people, they could be trying to find out information about what happened to people, or paying people to do things for them, bad things. So there's a lot of things going on worldwide, but those are the signs I was getting. It says, and then so the other signs is like somebody out here, whether it's a masculine, feminine, karmics, but this has to be karmics. Somebody was trying to frame someone to kill either their husband or wife. So some of these karmics out here are like literally trying to take somebody out. Okay? So you got karmics out here literally trying to frame and set people up to take their lives out. So you guys need to be very attentive, okay? And be watching out. A lot of these people, they're trying to take, these karmics could be trying to take somebody out for insurance money. And that's sad. That's the download I got in this movie. So you got some karmics out here trying to set up or frame somebody, to kill somebody for their insurance money, but to frame it and make it look like it was somebody else. Okay? Some of these people that could be in any incident that happened, they could have used the lamp, a knife, or scissors to kill someone, or that's what they're gonna use. Okay? It says 2 friends, but the one girl ends up with the opposite friend when she was first with the first friend. So like I told you earlier, it was like these guys, they grew up together in high school, but they went out dancing, and the one girl was with the one friend, and then the other guy went with the other girl's friend. But it's like they both swapped. It's like they swapped men. So the girl that was there with the guy didn't end up with him later. She ended up with his friend. So some of you, that's what's going to happen too. You might have 2 individuals. Oh my God, this white stuff keeps coming out. You might have 2 individuals that like you, but you're going to end up with the second one. Some of you out here, okay? They were talking a lot about having faith. So a lot of you, you got to have faith. Because the medium, she was telling the friend, like, the reason that happened to him too is because he let go of his faith. He lost his faith somewhere along the line, and that's why the dark took over him. I heard church bells, all right, and there was a church there. So some of you, maybe we need to go to church. Something could be happening in the church. All right, you could hear church bells. Something about us needing to go to church. Something about the churches, okay? And this medium lady, she was a medium and her husband was a man of God in the church. So you see how they worked? He did his thing in the church and she did her thing as a medium. But they were still together. So that's another sign that, people could be different and that's okay and still be together. Because he was a man of God, he had his church, and she was a medium, and she helped people, with accidents and incidents, or when people pass over, to help them, to give them comfort and give them information why they pass, okay? Some of you, there's a funeral that's going to be coming for some of you, okay? There's going to be some people that pass over, just so you know. Because that was a sign in there. Somebody's going to pass away. It's somebody or someone's. It could be many. About finding one true friend. Oh, and then in the movie, it's like, I got the download, like people are trying to find one good friend. It's like maybe people have been hurt by so many, and it's like you're trying to find that one good friend, some of us. That's what I got a download in this movie. It's like, that's how I feel. Like, I look around and I don't know who I could trust, and I'm like, can I find that one true friend, Lord? Somebody that's not going to hurt me. Somebody that's not going to deceive me like all these people have done around me. Somebody that's going to love me to the end, and accept me for who I am, in the good and the bad. So a lot of us were looking for that loyal friend. Okay? It says our decisions change our lives and who we become. So we have to watch our decisions. Okay, sometimes we have that decision, and you have to make that decision between the good or the bad. All right, and that when you got that one decision, you got to remember that could change your whole life. Just like that man, he was in a spiritual battle between the light and the dark about killing his wife. Okay, he had a decision that he needed to make, but he made the decision to go with the dark. Okay, and even though he made that decision, believe it or not, God still took him to heaven. All right, maybe he, like I said earlier, maybe he knew that he couldn't control the dark. The dark took over him, and maybe he knew his real heart. How do we know? We really don't. But that does show me that God's love is unconditional, like I know it is. The God that I know is unconditional. Okay? His love. It says, if we choose tragedy, we will all lose. So this is a big sign that I got, humanity. That if we choose to do wrong and we choose the dark and we choose tragedy, we will all lose as one, humanity. Okay? Something about the I gotta download because this number came out. The year 1960. So you might want to look that up. The year 1960. 1960. That's a download, humanity. They want us to look at. See what happened in 1960. I'm going to have to look it up myself. It says, oh, and then there was like these kids raking leaves. So I got to download, like, make sure, humanity, you're teaching your kids, like, to rake the leaves and, do their chores, to clean their room, to, if they're big enough to wash the dishes. When I was 5, 6 years old, my dad already had me washing dishes. He put a little step stool there. I would get up on the step stool, and I was a little girl, very little, learning how to wash dishes. Had to always keep my room clean. Had to make sure that my toys, when I was done, put them back in the toy box. We had to start teaching our children how to be responsible at a young age, so they could grow up and know how to be responsible children. Okay? They were my download. This movie was about Stephen King, okay? About Stephen King being a good writer, and Stephen King is very good, okay? Some of these people and some of you could have did a prison term, okay? That was the download I was getting. Some of you could, you could have done a prison term, or somebody could have done a prison term, or somebody you may have in your life could be doing a prison term. All right? But there's a download that came about people doing prison time. The year 1993 came up. Something about the year 1993, you might want to look that up. That is another synchronicity and sign. Another thing that came up was Florida in January. So some of you, when it gets cold, you may be like these people. They would go to Florida in January. So that's a download about some people that, they're giving you a download about some people. They go, something about it. Something could happen this January. And some of these people, a lot of people, they go to Florida. Okay? So something could be happening in January. So you guys just be watching out and everything like that. So these people, they set up a crime. Okay? And this is for my masculines, karmics, and feminines. Some of you could have robbed somebody. You could have literally robbed somebody in their house and went in their house and made it look like a break-in and went in and stole money from their safe in their house. Their safe was embedded in a counter or like by a bathroom. It was either by a counter in a room, but like in a bedroom or something like that, or by a bathroom. But the safe was like embedded in a counter. So some of you set up a robbery, a break-in, and you literally went in and stole money from someone's safe because you knew the combination. So somebody that knew the combination paid somebody else to go into somebody's house and steal and break into their safe. Okay, that's the download that I got. There's twin brothers. So some of you out here could be real twins, okay? I'm not talking about the twins and soulmates, like, I'm talking about real twins. It came up that there was 2 twin brothers. So some of you could have a twin out here, okay? So yeah, they paid somebody to break into this person's safe. Some of you that's what you did. The safe number was 91238. So some of you out here, that's what you did. Okay? You had the number to break into someone's safe. You try to make it look like it was somebody else. But you are the one that knew the number, and you were the one that paid somebody to go break into that safe. It says these people, you knew that these people go because you're somebody attached to them. You could be a sister, a mother, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, but you knew that they always go to Florida in January. So that's how you set up this break-in. This either happened or this is going to happen. So you have to take this like past, present, or future. This could have happened already, or this is about to happen in January. Somebody's going to try to break into your safe. Okay? And these people usually go to Florida in January. Why? Because wherever they live at is cold. There was about $50,000 in this safe. Some of you, this happened to you, or it's going to happen to you because you got a lot of money in there, or 50,000 or more. Okay? Yeah, it says the safe is embedded in the cabinet. So some of you, you have like a safe, but somehow it's embedded in your cabinet. There was a download about Chicago, because Chicago came out. So some of you could live in Chicago. This could happen in Chicago, but something about Chicago. The name Kevin came out. You could be Kevin. You could know Kevin. Kevin could be a friend, family member, attachment, co-worker, neighbor, or it could be your enemy or karmic, but the name Kevin came out. Some of you, I got a download that some of you play basketball, or some of you could be a basketball coach. Okay, there's something about, people, masculines, feminines, karmics, something about basketball or a basketball coach. There could be something going on with the basketball coach. Okay, or somebody's really connected to basketball and playing basketball. The name Joey and Luke came out. Joey came out and Luke. There is information about a Joey and a Luke. Okay, that could be you. That could be someone you're attached to. That could be a lover, friend, co-worker, neighbor, or an enemy. Okay, it says somebody is going to kill themselves and their wife and their children. So some of you, you may be in a predicament that you're feeling like you want to take your life, or you want to take your family's life, your husband or your wife and your children. Please do not do that. Do not let the devil and the darkness make you want to take your lives, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care how bad, what you have done, how you feel. That is not a choice on the table. We must be stronger men and women. I guarantee you that whatever you have done, you will be able to get over and get through it. Okay? There is shit coming out of my mouth. But I don't know what's coming out of my mouth, you guys. You see how these people... You see how these people aggravate me? Oof. Don't take your lives, okay? If you need any help, please call me or call somebody to help you. But don't take your lives. Don't do that. That's not the right way to go, okay? Don't do that to yourself, and don't do that to your family, please. Pay attention to your dreams. You will get many downloads. Right now, many of you need to pay attention to your dreams, okay? Some of you, you're very gifted, like me, okay? And this lady in the movie. So the dead... I was getting a sign in synchronicity, like some of our gifts are going to get stronger. Like the dead, some of us, we could talk to the dead, we could see the dead. So the dead's going to make themselves more known to some of us that have gifts. You're going to be able to talk to them. They're going to be right in your face and everything like that. They're going to come to you, me or whoever it's supposed to happen to. The name Anna came out. Okay, you could be Anna. You could be attached to Anna. Anna could be a family, friend, lover, neighbor, co-worker, or enemy or karmic. But the name Anna came out. Anna for me is like my grandma. That's what I felt right away. Because her name was Anna. My middle name is Anna. My aunt's name is Anna. So it could be any sign of synchronicity for me about any of them. And the other Anna I know is another Anna through some acquaintances of my family that I met in Chicago. So it could be something going on about this Anna, okay? The name Stephen Logan came out. You could be Stephen Logan, or you could be attached to Stephen Logan, okay? They could be family, friends, lovers, neighbors, or enemies, something. But there's something about Steve and Logan, the name Steve and Logan. And then the name Anthony Turner came out, okay? For me, you could be Anthony Turner. You could know Anthony Turner. Anthony Turner could be friend, family, co-worker, neighbor, lover, or enemy or karmic. When I saw the name Anthony Turner, it made me think about this man that I met in Chicago. Okay? So I know that they show me his name for a reason. So he has something to do with me, okay? And I freaked out when I saw it because I'm like, why would his name pop up? So I know something about him. He did something to me. Or there's something about him that I need to know concerning me, because his name would not have came out like that. Okay? I know that I know things about him, good and bad. So it's like, maybe, I don't know, maybe he was gonna hurt me, maybe he knew something when I was around him. For you, it can mean something else. Tony Turner or Anthony Turner, okay? But that's what I got of it. The name Robert kept coming out, okay? So you could be Robert, you could be attached to Robert. Robert could be family, lover, co-worker, neighbor, family, or an enemy. Something about Robert, and the Robert kept coming out a lot. Actually, it's weird because that name comes out quite a bit in all the movies that I be, everything I do watch here and there. It says God does not view sin in different levels like man does. So the download I was getting is like, God does not judge us by our sins. And in the movie, the lady was like, man is the one that did that. Man is the one that made us think that God judges us, or God's gonna do this, or God's not gonna love us, or God's not gonna that's man that made up all these things. Because God's love is unconditional. So man tried to trick us and make us think these things about God that are not true. Okay? Look up the word raven. Ravine. Okay? That's what that movie's called if you want to watch it. It's called Raven. Ravine. It's really good. The name Emily came out. The name Danny, Rachel, Chris Jr., okay? All these names came out. They could be you. It could be someone you're attached to, family, friends, lovers, co-workers, neighbors, or enemies or karmics. But the name Emily, Danny, Rachel, Chris, and Junior came out. Some of you like soccer, okay? That's another download, something about soccer. Some of you here could like to play soccer. Another download was, we need to look up Moses, all right, in the Bible. There's something about Moses that we all need to study, okay? It was so funny because the 10 Commandments came up. And in the last 2 days, it's so funny because I'm like, wow. Because the other day, I've just been watching people, and I think I said it in one of my videos. I'm like, we need to go back to the 10 Commandments, or people need to go back and remember the 10 Commandments because they're acting real crazy out here. And look in the movie, they were like, the lady was like, the 10 Commandments, she brought it up. I'm like, oh, wow, confirmation. I'm like, you giving me confirmation for real, Father. So, yeah. The 10 Commandments. We need something about the year 1996 as well. So there's something about the year 1996 that we need to look at. Ow, my arm, bro. My arm falling asleep, you guys. Oh. So yeah, so it's something about the year 1996. And then the download I was getting from the movie too is that there's a lot of prisoners, like they're connecting to each other, like to be, to do bad things. So you got prisoners connecting to each other, whether like, say if they're in one cell in one area, then you got another whole area on the other side of the building. These people are actually finding a way to either talk on the phone or write letters back and forth to each other, whether it's in the same compound or whether it's somewhere else in the world. They're sending letters to each other, or they're finding a way to call each other. And then they set up, or they do, they set up to do bad things. So that's for the authorities. You need to be watching, because these prisoners are in these jails and they are actually connecting and talking to each other, and like setting up bad things or doing bad stuff to people out here in the world, which they shouldn't be. Okay, they shouldn't be able. That needs to stop. They shouldn't be able to contact each other, write each other, calling each other, because they're doing, they're setting up and doing bad things. You got bad people doing bad things that they shouldn't be doing. In the movie, I got the download like that we have to have forgiveness. A lot of us are hurting, angry, upset about things. Okay? But God was specifically saying in this movie, the only way that you're going to get through anything that you're angry, upset about, or you don't understand is by having forgiveness. That's the only way we're going to be able to move forward, if we forgive. Okay? That's the key to a lot of our problems, that we have to forgive so we can move on. It says we must forgive no matter how bad it is. Example, they robbed somebody's house and the victim wanted to forgive the robbers. Oh, that's what happened in the beginning. Because they went back to this time when they were young, and they ended up going to some, this is another thing, it happened in the beginning, okay, before they robbed this safe. They when they were younger, they all went and robbed somebody's house, okay, because this is what they were doing, that bad stuff at that time. But when they went to rob the house, they thought that the people weren't home, but the people ended up being home. So when the people heard them in the house, they went downstairs. Obviously, dude came downstairs with the bat, and the people were just looking at him. I'm like, boy, I'm thinking to myself watching a movie, like, really, with a bat? I'm like, come on, bro, you couldn't find nothing else. But yeah, so he came down with a bat. Then the lady was like, his lady or whatever, somebody that was staying there, she comes out, she's like, oh my God, well, I'm gonna call the police. Well, she ends up calling the police or whatever. And then one guy pushes her down, and the other guys end up running away. But the crazy one, which is the one over here that I told you that killed himself, his wife, and his kid, he ended up staying there and beating up the lady, like, real bad. He didn't have to even beat her up that bad. I mean, it was not that serious. But since his mind was not right already, because he was unstable between the light and the dark. Something was wrong with him psychologically and mentally, all right, in the spiritual battle. And basically it was the spiritual battle between the light and the dark within himself. And it kept, like, what I'm guessing is, like, some of you could have been psychologically or mentally disturbed since you were young till your teenage years and then your adult years, but you didn't do nothing about it, and nobody around you helped you with it. That's what I was getting from this movie, because this man, he was involved with a lot of things, so something was not right upstairs. All right. It says when we don't forgive, we carry anger inside. Yeah, so if we don't forgive, what happens is we carry that anger inside. So that's why we have to forgive. Because the other people are not hurting. We're the ones walking around hurting with all that pain and suffering. That's why you have to let it go and give it to God. Another download I was getting, a lot of you are very depressed right now, okay, for whatever reason. Only each of you know. But please talk to God. Please have faith. Call upon your angels and your ancestors. Meditate. Get spiritual. Talk to somebody. But don't let the depression, hurt you or hurt others. Try to work through it. Find somebody that's loyal and true that you could trust to help you to get through depression, you guys. My email is there too. If you need it, please use it. It says, someone will have what? Some of you could be pregnant, you're going to have a son. The name Missy came out. The name Missy and Joanna came out. You could be Missy, you could be Joanna. This could be your family, friends, lovers, co-workers, neighbors, all right, cousins, aunts, or enemies or karmics. It says someone wanted to take pills because their life was, again, I wrote that down. I was getting the downloads that some of you want to take your life by taking a bunch of pills. Please don't do that. Many people have done that in this world. Don't do that. It's not the right way to do it. Be strong. Pills is not the answer. Taking your lives is not the answer, you guys. We need to pray for our enemies, okay? That's the download I was getting. Instead of, whatever, you need to pray for your enemies, forgive them, and give them to the Lord, and let God deal with them. Let the divine deal with them. I put a gifted woman that likes to help others, because this woman was like me, and many of you that are mediums, readers, psychic, high priestess. I'm sorry, I have a lot of notes here for you guys, but it says there was angels, guys, to help others to be free, ask for forgiveness, and move forward. The angels were there, all right, to help others, all right, to be free and ask for forgiveness and move forward. So there was angels involved, all right. It's like they were trying to tell this man to do this and to do that, not to do this. So it wasn't like he did not see nobody or nobody was there to help him. These angels were literally there to help him, but he chose the dark. You know, the devil was there, the angels are there. And then even this lady that is alive like me and you has gifts. So she was even there. It's like she was even talking to him. But he was so entrapped by the lies of the devil, he didn't hear the lady and he didn't hear these angels. Okay? One of the robbers got vision what one of the robbers got visions of the woman that was an angel. Oh, so one of the robbers, so that was the guy. He actually saw this woman, that this medium like myself that's alive. He actually saw her in his dream or in his vision or when he was awake. So it's like he already met the woman that was a medium before this incident happened, because it usually happens like that. But he never met her. You see, he never met her, but he envisioned her, because she made it known that she knew about him, because God had already ordained it for her to see what was going to happen with that situation because of her gifts and who she was. But God let them out early from jail. You know, God went in the first incident when they robbed that house, like I'm telling you guys in the movie. God allowed these bad robbers, these people, to get out of jail, because the people that they robbed, the man ended up going to these robbers and telling them, "Can you forgive me for being angry with you?" And that's how God ordained it for them to get out early, because because it wasn't the robbers that asked for forgiveness. It was the man that they robbed that went and asked them for forgiveness, because he didn't want to carry that anger anymore. So they all made up with each other, and then God made a way to get them out of to get them out of jail early. You understand? That's by the grace. That's God. That's God's grace. You need to look up the year 2008. There's something about the year 2008. It says the masculine likes to play basketball. There could be some masculines that like to play basketball. I think I said that already, something about basketball. There's music involved, all right, with some of you here. Something about music has something to do with all of us, okay? Especially the chosen ones as well. Especially, I put here with the twins and soulmates. So there's definitely some music involved pertaining to my twins and soulmates. The name Corey came out. You could be Corey. You could be attached to Corey. Corey could be family, friends, lovers, neighbors, co-workers, or enemy or karmics. That's my son's name. So that's how I know that they want me to have forgiveness in my heart, because my son's name came out. Somebody is going to take their life. I keep telling you guys this. This kept coming out in the movie. Somebody's going to take their life. Make sure you guys are watching your loved ones. Don't let people take their lives. If you're there, try to help them. The name Ben and Logan came out. That could be you or anybody you know, or your enemy or your karmics. These people also were trying to take this woman's life, because this man was so, he was dark. He was he was a good, this is the thing. He wore a mask and tried to make it look like he was a good person. Everybody thought he was a good person, but really underneath he was dark, because this is what these people do. They hide their sickness. They make it look like they're normal people, but really they're sick inside. So this man, what he wanted to do with some other people was kill his own wife to get insurance money. So some of you, there's some people out here that are going to try to take your life because they want your money and your insurance policy. This could have happened already, or this is going to happen. This is something that happens worldwide. So you have to take it how it resonates. I did just get this download. So this already happened, or somebody is going to try to take somebody's life because of their insurance claim out here. So be careful. Or if you already went through it, you know what I'm talking about. This happens quite a bit worldwide though. Okay? So I'm trying to help somebody. So if this does happen, or you've been feeling something, or you have this safe that's embedded in your cabinet, wherever in your house, somebody knows the code to your thing, I suggest that you change your code, and I suggest that you watch your house. And I don't know, I'm just saying, if this happened already, it happened. If it's about to happen, I'm trying to let you know before it happens. They're gonna, these people, they're gonna try to break in your back door and make it look like somebody broke in, but that's not what happened. It's somebody that that paid somebody else. Then they're gonna go break into your house and try to steal your 50,000 or whatever you got in that safe. So they're gonna try, or they're gonna and kill you for the insurance policy. And then some of you got fired. Some of you could have recently got fired from a job. You could be losing. You could be having trouble with finances. You could have got fired from your job. You need to look up the butterfly spirit. There was a lot of butterflies in this movie. It says, feel better, help is on the way. Some of you, like I said, you're depressed, you're wanting to hurt yourself, kill yourself, or you or your family. That is not the answer. You need to have faith and go to God and your angels. You need to find somebody to talk to. There's other ways. Don't do that. Don't hurt yourself for others. Find help. If you guys know that there's people out here that are not mentally or psychologically okay, all of you guys need to get help and get them help, because that's our responsibility too. We can't just allow our family members or somebody we know to be walking around when we know they're hurting inside. And some of us, this is a sign that we have to watch our people, our loved ones, or people we know, because they could be sick inside and be wearing a mask like they're okay, but the whole time they're dark inside. And that's some of you out here are walking around like that. You're walking around like everything's okay wearing a mask, but you're dark as hell inside, thinking of doing ugly things or thinking about doing ugly things. You need help. A lot of you could be having financial problems. You could be having marital problems right now. That's why you're depressed. That's why you're down, because you're receiving karma. You're going through financial problems, material problems. You're going through karma, or you're going through things because of the bad decisions that you made. Like the lady said in the movie, we all have decisions. So some of you now, you may be going through financial, marital problems. Okay, you're having problems in your marriage, but now you want to blame everybody else. It's nobody's fault but your own, whatever's happening to you. So don't be blaming nobody. Just look at yourself in the mirror, take responsibility, and try to fix your issues. Some of you could have a BMW. Okay, whoever I'm speaking to. Sometimes our soul interconnect. Okay, like that medium. Some of us were gifted. We could connect with other people. We could see people pass over. We could talk to the dead. We can actually be in an incident like she was able to be in that man's house when that whole murder was going on. And that's crazy, because she even could feel them being stabbed, them being, like she was the one dead. She felt everything. That's how powerful her gifts were. So when he was stabbing his wife and kids, she felt the stabbing pain. So it's like she fell to the ground, but she doesn't die. She just feels everything. What they say, if they hurt somebody, whatever, she feels everything in the body. That's how gifted this medium was. It says, so this man's wife, that, like I told you, he was a man of God. His wife was the medium. And I put here because he was telling these people, the friends of the people that died, he was like, everything that my wife touched grows. So that was giving me confirmation, like me. I'm blessed. I'm chosen. So everything that I touch grows. I bring light. I bring life back to people's life. And many of you do that too, or many of you understand what I'm saying. It says very connected to Mother Gaia, trees, and the living things. A lot of the mediums were very connected to Mother Gaia, to the trees, to all living things. And then I put here, a lot of us, we ask, why does God allow these things to happen? Many of us ask these questions. Why would God allow this man to stab this woman and his child up? But it was because he was in a spiritual battle between the light and the dark, and he lost his faith. He didn't have enough power to overpower the dark. Many of you need to realize we are in a real spiritual battle. Every last one of us on this planet. You are going to have to overpower the dark. Believe in God and have faith. Do not let the dark take you over. Stand until you cannot stand. But if you have to go in any way or fashion, at least do it in the right way, by serving a God that is true and loving and unconditional. Don't let the dark overtake you, guys. A lot of you right now, you're in fear. You have fear because you think you're not good enough. You think that you don't know what real love is. You think that you're a failure because whatever you're going on, you're wearing a mask to the world. That's why. And you're always like, every time you're around people, whoever I'm talking to, you wear a mask. You're always nice to people, always helping people. But the whole time underneath that mask, you're dark under there. You're hurting. You're very angry inside. You think you're unworthy. You're always lying and cheating and pretending to people. So many of you, you're hurting. You're depressed. You're dark inside. You wear a mask. You walk around like you're nice. You walk around like you're always helping people. But the whole time you're wearing a mask, you're dark underneath. You're always lying. You're cheating, okay? You think you don't know what unconditional love is. You don't feel love. You don't feel worthy. You think you're a failure. Those are all the lies from the enemy. Those are the things in the spiritual battle that we are going through right now. The devil will play mind games with your mind. See, you got to understand today, ladies and gentlemen, the spiritual battle, it all happens in the mind. That's where the spiritual battle is. It's within our mind where the enemy will play with us. Okay? It says, and I just said this, look at it, and I'm looking at the paper I wrote down. It says, the battle is in the mind, the spiritual battle. You must fight the darkness. What did I just say? Look at how confirmation comes out. I said that without even remembering I wrote that on this damn paper, because I didn't even look at it till now. So yeah, it says, help all over the world makes a lie seem real. What? Helps all over the world. Oh, so it's like I just said, a lot of people are helping and doing all type of things. All right, but there's a lie behind it. Some people try to make things look like something that they're not, because there's a lie behind it. Okay? And again, I put here mediums that can see crimes happening because it comes to him or her. The devil makes a lie seem real. You have to listen to your intuition, ladies and gentlemen. He was something he wasn't. He was wearing a mask. He was something that he really wasn't. He was fighting the dark over and over again, but he lost. Many of you, this is what you're going through, but please don't lose. This is why I'm letting you know now, so that you can overcome the darkness. Don't let it overcome you. He lost again. He stopped trusting in God. All right? Without trust, there is no faith. We all experience darkness. 2 angels came when we do bad things, we have a choice. So 2 angels, like I said, the angels came to him. They literally came to him before he did what he did. But there, and that medium, which was alive, had gifts and went to him. A lot of people were trying to stop him before he killed his wife and son. So he had a choice. But he was always used to going with the dark, and the dark overtook him again. But this time took him. And then after he killed his son and wife, he took his life, and he left one son alive. But that one son that was alive, what happened was the angels covered his door to his bedroom, and the angels told him, you are not going to take that one, because he belongs to God. So he couldn't kill that other child, because those angels were protecting them. Just like many of you. You need to realize that some of us that are God's people, or we are the 144,000, or we are chosen, we have angels all around protecting us that will not allow you to hurt us. So that's the download I got. Many of you are fighting darkness in this world. You have to overcome the darkness, okay? It says mediums actually feel people in bad. Again, I kept writing that these mediums, they could feel everything in these incidents. Okay, they're there. They're in their actual there. It's like they live through it. It's like they're the one that's being hurt. They could feel the pain of the person doing something, and they could feel the pain of the person suffering that the other person is hurting. That's how gifted this medium was. The angels protected the one child and didn't let the father, kill him, because I told you the angels were protecting him. They told him he is off limits. You cannot kill him. He is a child of God. So he didn't kill the other child. It says trapped in anger because you want to forgive. Oh, because you won't forgive. We must forgive. So, a lot of us were trapped in anger. And anger, it builds and builds and builds and builds. And then look at what happens. You end up making choices, or you end up doing things that you regret. So we have to learn how to forgive people, no matter how bad it is. It doesn't mean that people have to be in your life again, but forgive them, give it to God so you can move on with your life. It says God loves all of us, and he does. God's love is unconditional. See, man has made and put limits and all type of things on God, like they know who God is or what he will do, or God's going to send you to hell, like a lot of these churches and religions. It's a bunch of, God's love is unconditional no matter what we do, all right? Even though he may not like our acts, like I don't like a lot of people's acts, but that doesn't mean that the love changes. The love is the same. It doesn't waver. It doesn't go back and forth. His love is unconditional. God does not judge. He loves us all. We judge. Man judges. And man has taught us a lot of things that is not right and true. That's why many of us that are of the 144,000 are here to bring the truth out, to bring justice and the truth out about what's really supposed to be and what's supposed to happen and who God is and why this world is here. Everything. Okay? God takes bad people home. May we believe it or not, his love is unconditional. That was the last thing I wrote. Because this man killed his wife, himself, and his kid, but God still came and got him and took him to heaven. So that is a sign of synchronicity for us. That is information that some of us, and that's not telling you to think that it's okay for you to get away with the things that you are doing. No. Because a lot of us need to stop doing the ugly things that we are doing. We need to change ourselves. Okay? But we do need to forgive. But change has to take place, humanity. You can't be going around hurting yourselves or hurting others, okay? If you're sick inside, you need to get help. If you're somebody that knows somebody else is sick in your family, friends, lovers, you need to get them help. Do not let people walk around sick. This is why people hurt people. I just seen something in my motherfucking bed. Where the fuck did it go? There's fucking bugs jumping in my bed. Excuse me, I didn't mean to swear on camera. Something, let me find out. Little damn fleas or something jumping around. They had them in the other room. I don't know if these dogs. So anyways, that's what I have for you guys. Let me get off of here because I got to find this little jumping bug. The devil's trying to bother me over here. So I love you guys. Be blessed. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.